This is Federal Law, and this is the 209th launch of the Alliance for Downtown New York's 5th Annual Downtown Queer Thursdays. It's a lecture series which celebrates Lower Manhattan's architectural treasures in history by presenting discussions with best-selling authors, world-renowned experts, These are thematic connecting things. I am Maurice Lerner. I'm president of the National Parks of New York Harbor Conservancy. This evening, together with the Alliance and the Henry Hudson 400 Foundation, we are pleased to present the first, and what we're sure will be an illustrious season of ongoing events citywide to commemorate the 400th anniversary of Henry Hudson's arrival in New York. How appropriate that we tell the story here in Federal Hall. Just a few steps from where the Dutch first built the wall that gave Wall Street its name, this historic Great Revival building, built in 1842, stands on the site where George Washington was inaugurated, where he ratified the Bill of Rights, where Congress met for the first time, and where they met in New York for the last time, right after 9/11. It is preserved and protected by the National Park Service. Our Harbor Conservancy is a partner and the primary partner of the National Parks of New York Harbor. For those of you that don't know about the National Parks of New York Harbor, we're relatively new, and we are hopeful that within the next few years, everyone will be able to travel from place to place on ferry boats in New York Harbor. This site and the national parks in New York are overseen by Commissioner Maria Burks, and we want to thank Maria for hosting us here this evening. I'm also happy to welcome the Honorable friend of ours, the Consul General, Hayes Shelton. He is the Consul General of the Netherlands, and also the President of the Downtown Alliance, Liz Berger. City Council Speaker Quinn has also heralded this occasion with a proclamation, which will be presented by her representative, Jasper Ali. Here to accept the proclamation are the co-founders of the Henry Hudson 400 Foundation and the Harbor Conservancy's new partners, Angela Haynes and Garrett Taylor.
Good evening, everyone. This is Jasper, and I'm with you today, and I'm the New York City Council Speaker, Kristen Queen. First of all, I'd like to apologize for her not being able to be here tonight. However, on behalf of the Speaker, I'd like to present this proclamation, and I will read the last paragraph of this proclamation. Whereas the Dutch not only founded New York, but their progressive spirit of enterprise in many ways provided the roots for the character of New York as we know it today. In the 17th century, since Amsterdam was considered the most liberal city in Europe, Dutch settlers brought with them a deep tradition of tolerance, which became a hallmark of its New World colony. The early settlement of New Amsterdam with its multi-ethnic, dynamic inhabitants mirrors the diverse cosmopolitan culture of which New York City is revered throughout the world. Now, therefore, be it known that the Council of the City of New York calls upon all citizens to commemorate the 400th anniversary of the extraordinary third voyage of Henry Hudson in the city of New York. Signed this 15th day of January in the year 2009. Kristen Queen, Speaker for the entire Council.
Henry Hudson 400 has also graciously returned the honor to the city with a commemorative gift for you. When you leave this evening, you will receive the very first copies of the special limited edition book, 1609, The Forgotten History of Hudson, Amsterdam, and New York. In this volume, Russell Shorto and European historian Hertzmack told the story of what happened in 1609 in Amsterdam and in the days before Henry Hudson left and what happened to New York. Our panel discussion will now begin. Why America begins in New York, how the Dutch distinguished the city, the nation's greatest city. Tonight is moderated by the New York Times Urban Affairs correspondent and author Sam Roberts. To tell you a little bit about Sam Roberts, this marks his 25th year with the New York Times. Prior to joining the Times, Sam spent 15 years at the New York Daily News, first as a reporter and then as the newspaper's youngest city editor. As an award-winning journalist, Sam is the author of Who We Are, Portrait of America, published by Times Books, and The Brother, the untold and news-breaking book of the Rosenberg Adam spy case, published by Random House. His latest book, Kind of Genius, will be published next month by Public Affairs Books. Sam has hosted the New York Times Close-Up on New York One, which he inaugurated in 1992, and is produced in association with the newspaper. Welcome, Sam Roberts, and thank you to our panelists.
Thank you very much for all of you coming out tonight on this very cold night, and thanks especially to my fellow panel members who I will introduce in full later, but they are Ken Jackson, Russell Shorto, and Charles Geary. And thank you all for joining us. Thanks also to the Dutch officials who are here tonight. I am here because of three people. One is Maria Sordo, my wife. And another is Michael Michaud, who is the Manhattan Borough historian. And it was Michael who persuaded me some months ago to write a story about the fact that there is a great controversy over the date of New York City's founding. I didn't realize there was controversy at the time, but I had been looking at the city flag and the city seal and it was 1625. Excuse me, and I said, why 1625? Well, there is a long story, and I'm sure we will go into it tonight. I never realized that the passions over it were quite as heated as they turned out to be. Also, Liz Berger, who is president of the Downtown Alliance, I thank her very much for hosting this event and sponsoring it. Let me just explain the format briefly. I'm going to make some very brief opening remarks that each of our panelists will introduce separately. They will speak for a few minutes, then we will have a conversation, and then we will leave some time at the end in case any of you have questions. It was 400 years ago this week, I believe, and Russell will correct me if I'm wrong, that the Dutch hired Henry Hudson. They hired an Englishman. He was not Hendrik Hudson, he was Henry Hudson. He got here later this year, and perhaps the harbinger of the city's emergence as a fashion capital, the first mate of Henry Hudson's ship said of the natives, they desire clothes. The man delivering the state of the city speech today, he mentioned 400. He mentioned 400 jobs. He mentioned Hudson. He mentioned Hudson Yards. But he didn't mention this year's anniversary, the 400th anniversary of Henry Hudson's arrival.